Picture this: the Mediterranean, 264 BC. It's not just a beautiful sea, it's a pressure cooker. And guess what? Things are about to boil over. Two empires are on a collision course, Rome and Carthage. One's a rising star, the other a reigning champ. Both want to rule the Mediterranean. One problem: there's only room for one at the top. Let's meet Rome, a republic obsessed with discipline. These guys make boot camp look like a picnic. Honor, loyalty, military might, that's their bread and butter. Imagine an entire civilization running on a strict code, hungry for land, and with a knack for winning wars. Sounds intense? It was. Now, across the sea, we have Carthage, a city drenched in sun, swimming in exotic goods, and raking in serious cash. Think ancient Dubai with a touch of mystery. But don't let the bling fool you. Carthage has a dark side, whispers of ruthless mercenaries and rumors of ancient rituals that would make your hair stand on end. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of these guys either. And caught in the middle of this brewing storm is Sicily, a strategic island with prime real estate and more resources than a Roman bathhouse. You know what happens when two empires want the same thing, right? Let's just say things are about to get messy. But wait, there's another player in this game, the Mamertines. Imagine the toughest guys you know, now give them swords and zero loyalty. These mercenaries seized control of the Sicilian city of Messana, a city already teeming with Romans and Carthaginians. Talk about awkward. Backed into a corner, the Mamertines made a choice. A desperate plea for help. But who would answer their call? Rome? Carthage? One thing's for sure, their decision would change the course of history forever. The Roman Senate is in session. Toga-clad politicians debating the fate of nations. The question on everyone's mind: should Rome risk it all for a band of mercenaries and a chance to control Sicily? Some senators preach caution. Carthage, masters of the sea, a force to be reckoned with. Others? They smell victory, riches, glory. And besides, how hard can a naval war be? The vote is cast. The decision: it's war with Carthage. Roman legions land in Sicily, ready to fight. But this time something's different. This is a whole new world. The Romans, masters of land warfare, are about to get a crash course in naval combat. And trust me, Carthage is about to school them. Sleek warships, lightning-fast cavalry, warriors from across the known world. And if that's not intimidating enough, try going up against a charging war elephant. How can Rome, a landlocked wolf, possibly hope to defeat these seafaring sharks? Faced with a maritime monster, Rome makes a bold move, build a navy from scratch. Talk about a challenge. It's a race against time. Roman shipwrights swarm over captured Carthaginian vessels, frantically taking notes. So that's how you build a boat. Imagine the scene. Hammers pounding, wood groaning, and more than a few confused looks. It's a steep learning curve, but there's no time for mistakes. The survival of the Republic might depend on this. And then they clash. Hundreds of ships, thousands of men. This is ancient warfare on an epic scale. The sea itself becomes a battleground. Imagine the deafening roar of battle, the clash of metal on metal, the twang of bowstrings, the screams of men fighting for their lives. Carthaginian ships dart and weave, unleashing a storm of fire and arrows. Roman ships, larger and less maneuverable, struggle to keep up. But then, a flash of ingenuity, a stroke of Roman brilliance, the corvus, a boarding bridge that transforms a sea battle into a land fight. It's brutal, it's chaotic, and for Carthage, it's about to get very, very messy. The First Punic War. It's a brutal, bloody back and forth. Mili, Ecnomus, Roman victories, bought and paid for in blood. But Carthage doesn't back down. At Drepanum, a sudden storm turns the tide, smashing the Roman fleet, sending thousands to a watery grave. The message is clear. The sea shows no mercy. Decades pass. Who will have the will, the resources, the sheer guts to outlast the other. The fate of the Mediterranean hangs in the balance. The First Punic War is over. Rome, bruised but victorious, breathes a sigh of relief. They think it's over. They're wrong. In smouldering Carthage, a new threat is rising. A young general, driven by a legacy of hatred and a burning ambition, Hannibal Barca. This is no ordinary soldier. He's a strategic mastermind, a charismatic leader who inspires fierce loyalty. He gathers his army, a diverse force with one thing in common, a burning desire to see Rome fall. Hannibal is going for the jugular. He's about to unleash a storm that will shake the Roman Republic to its very core. Hannibal's plan is so audacious, so crazy, that the Romans dismiss it as impossible. He's going to invade Italy by crossing the Alps. It's 218 BC, and this is no Sunday stroll. Picture this: thousands of soldiers, cavalry, supplies, and war elephants, all marching through treacherous mountain passes, battling snow, ice, treacherous paths, and hostile tribes. It's a logistical nightmare, a brutal test of endurance. Hannibal loses men, animals, supplies, but he never loses sight of his goal. Italy awaits. And Rome? They're about to get a very unwelcome surprise. The Romans, fresh off their naval victory, are feeling pretty good about themselves. Hannibal, just another barbarian chieftain. They'll crush him, no problem. Big mistake. At the Trebia River, the Romans get a taste of Hannibal's genius, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. The legions, used to fighting on solid ground, find themselves wading through a freezing river, their formations falling apart. And that's when Hannibal strikes. A blur of motion, Numidian cavalry appearing from the mist, ambushing the Roman flanks. Hidden troops, swords flashing, springing a deadly trap. The Romans are routed. It's a massacre. Welcome to Hannibal's Italy. Rome, stunned by the defeat at Trebia, scrambles to regroup. But Hannibal doesn't give them a chance to breathe. He's on the move, striking like lightning. Lake Trasimene, a narrow valley, shrouded in mist, the perfect setting for an ambush. The Romans walk right into it. It's a slaughter. Panic starts to grip Rome. Then comes Cannae, Hannibal's masterpiece, a strategic ballet of death. The Roman legions, surrounded, outmaneuvered, completely outclassed, are annihilated. Thousands upon thousands of Roman soldiers, the heart of their army, lie dead on the battlefield. Rome is on the brink. Hannibal is at the gates. The unthinkable has happened. The invincible legions of Rome have been crushed. The city itself is within his grasp. Rome waits, bracing for the final blow, but it never comes. Hannibal hesitates. Why? Some say he lacked the supplies for a siege. Others say he feared the strength of Rome's defenses. Whatever the reason, the moment passes. Rome survives, for now. But the shadow of the conqueror remains. Hannibal is still out there. And the question remains, will he strike again? Hannibal, undefeated, unstoppable. Rome is on the ropes. Years of war have taken their toll. Grieving families, empty fields, a city gripped by fear. In the Senate, the mood is bleak. The question isn't just how to win, but how to survive. Can anything, stop Hannibal's reign of terror? Enter Scipioafricanus, young, ambitious, and with a completely different approach to fighting Hannibal. Forget brute force. Scipio's weapon is his mind. He's a student of war, a leader who inspires, a man who understands that to defeat your enemy, you have to know them. He's training his legions in new tactics, adapting to Hannibal's strategies. He's studying Carthaginian culture, their language, even their art. This Roman general is thinking outside the box, and he's about to turn the tide of war. Scipio's proving ground, Iberia, the heart of Carthaginian power. But Scipio isn't just here to fight. He's building relationships, forging alliances. He respects local customs, wins over tribal leaders, and turns enemies into allies. He understands that true power lies not just in military might, but in winning hearts and minds. But he's not afraid to use force when needed. He lays siege to New Carthage, a vital port. The Romans aren't exactly known for being great at naval warfare, but Scipio, he's full of surprises. The city falls. It's a decisive victory, a sign of things to come. Hannibal, are you watching? Scipio's next move is bold, audacious, even a little bit crazy. He's going to invade Africa itself. Take the fight to Hannibal's doorstep. Roman legions land on the African coast, raising the stakes of the war. Carthage is thrown into a panic. Scipio rallies his troops, his message simple and powerful. We will break Carthage on its own soil. The campaign is swift, relentless. Victory after victory. Local tribes flock to his banner. Then comes the Battle of Baecula. Scipio faces Hasdrubal Barca, Hannibal's brother. The clash is epic. The result? Another decisive victory for Scipio. The shadow of defeat now looms over Carthage. Hannibal, still unbeaten in Italy, receives the news. Scipio is winning in Africa. Carthage is in danger. The Lion of Carthage is being forced back to his den. For Hannibal, it's a bitter pill. To leave Italy, his campaign unfinished, his revenge incomplete. He addresses his veterans, men who have followed him through hardship and victory. We return home, he declares, to face a new enemy, a new battle. The army marches, the look on Hannibal's face a mixture of determination and dread. The stage is set. The final showdown between Hannibal and Scipio is inevitable. Carthage, 149 BC. 50 years have passed since Hannibal's reign of terror. The city has rebuilt, its markets bustle, its people work to forget the horrors of the past. But the shadow of Rome looms large. They haven't forgotten Hannibal. They haven't forgotten the fear. Can Carthage truly escape its past? Or is history about to repeat itself? Rome, meanwhile, is riding high. Victories have fueled a hunger for more power, more territory, more glory. A new generation of leaders has emerged, men like Cato the Elder. He's a powerful senator, a fiery orator, and he's got one message for Rome. Carthage must be destroyed. Over and over, he hammers it home. He points to a map. There's Rome, there's Carthage. Too close for comfort, a threat that must be eliminated. But is it really about security, or is it about something else? Ambition, paranoia, the desire for an empire without rivals. Little things start to become big things. Roman merchants grumble about Carthaginian competition. Farmers clash at the border. And then there's the fig tree. Yes, a fig tree, a border dispute. Carthage tries to appease Rome. It's not enough. Rome is looking for a fight, and they're about to find one. Roman ambassadors arrive in Carthage. Their message is cold, blunt, and utterly shocking. Carthage must surrender, not just its army, not just its weapons, but its city, its identity, its very existence as a maritime power. The Carthaginians are told to abandon their homes, their temples, their ancestors, and move inland, become farmers, forget the sea, forget their history. It's an insult, a humiliation. The Carthaginian Senate erupts in defiance. They'll fight. They have no choice. But can they possibly win? 146 BC. The Third Punic War, a siege that will go down in history as one of the most brutal and tragic. For 3 long years, Carthage resists. They fight with everything they have, swords, stones, even their bare hands. Women melt down their jewelry to make weapons. Children scavenge for scraps in a starving city. It's a fight for survival, a desperate last stand against an unstoppable force. But Rome is too powerful. The city falls. What follows is a massacre. Streets run red with blood. Fires rage out of control. The once proud city, a center of culture and trade, is systematically destroyed. Plowed under, salted earth, the end of Carthage, a chilling reminder of the cost of war, and a question that echoes through history. Was it necessary? Carthage, a city erased, reduced to dust and echoes. What remains? Shattered columns, crumbling walls, ghosts of a civilization silenced. Who tells the stories of the vanquished? Who remembers the losers? The Punic Wars are a Roman victory, a triumph etched in stone and legend. But is there another side to this story? A hidden history waiting to be unearthed? Rome, victorious. A republic transformed into an empire, its power stretching across the Mediterranean. The legions are unmatched. Roman law, engineering and culture spread like wildfire. But is this the peak of Roman glory, or the beginning of its decline? Did the Punic Wars, those brutal, bloody conflicts, plant the seeds of Rome's own eventual downfall? Look closer. Behind the facade of triumph, cracks begin to appear. Extravagant wealth, a widening gap between rich and poor, political corruption. The very values that made Rome strong, duty, discipline, civic virtue, seem to be eroding. The spoils of war are seductive, but are they a poison slowly eating away at the heart of the Republic? Can a nation built on conquest avoid being consumed by its own ambition? Centuries later, the ruins of Carthage whisper their secrets. Archaeologists carefully uncover fragments of a lost world, mosaics, pottery, a child's toy clutched in the hand of a skeleton, a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. Here's a twist. The Romans built a new city on top of the ruins, a Roman Carthage, an attempt to erase the past, to rewrite history. But the past has a way of resurfacing. Whose voices are heard, whose stories get told, and who decides what we remember? The Punic Wars, an epic clash of civilizations that continues to fascinate us, to challenge us, to make us question. We see echoes of this ancient struggle everywhere we look. Military superpowers vying for dominance, global trade shaping economies and destinies, political maneuvering, alliances forged and broken. The lessons of the Punic Wars are timeless, relevant, and deeply human. The dangers of unchecked ambition, the seductive allure of power, the cyclical nature of empires. So, what have we learned? Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Or can we break the cycle of conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history, and share this video with your friends. Let's keep exploring the past together.